But the challenge for marketing is you need to keep the brand alive. You still need to be out there. So we've been out on television, but we out in such a way that all we're doing is building the brand. And there's always this debate when we're presenting our strategies to our executive committee. And we always have to re-emphasize that, if we break everything down, there's two things we could do in marketing. We could either sell pieces of chicken, this is where we actually talk, or we build the brand. And we realize in our business, if we want to increase our volume, all we need to do is go back to our partners and increase incentives for every piece of business you give us. This is incentive, and you can increase the business. But if you want to build the brand, then we come to marketing and we start exploring all sorts of opportunities. That has now led us into what we're going to talk about this morning in terms of social media. But this just gives us, a bit of a background in terms of who WesBank is and how we operate. So from our perspective, we start saying, what is social media? Or we go to a stage where we realized that before social media, it almost seems crazy to say before social media, or to say before cell phones. We would go out on TV, we'd have some print ads, and we would go out and build the WesBank brand. And then in our print, we could talk about if you want finance for your corporate assets, come to WesBank. If you want finance for a vehicle, come to WesBank. So our primary objective was to build the brand via the traditional channels, TV, print, radio, etc. But we always had a limited marketing budget. If you look at our budget, if you added up our total marketing budget spent within WesBank, it runs into the hundreds of millions. But you look at the budget we have available for immediate disposal on print, radio, TV, etc. It's pretty small, probably 50 million. But it's all marketing. So if you want to build the brand externally, outside of our point of sale, we have a limited budget to play with. But we've begun to realize that something is at play here that is giving us a higher leverage than we could ever get, even if we pumped in a lot of money into print and radio, just by the way life is changing around us. And social media is actually becoming a vehicle that it's almost kind of hit us in the face. We didn't set out with much intelligence to say, hang on guys, there's something happening with social media. It's kind of crept upon us. The world around us has changed. But before I go into that, just a little bit, to bring us all to the same understanding of social media. So the term social media refers to the use of web-based and mobile technologies. But the big thing here is interactivity. That's the one thing that really has stood out for us. Social media, all of a sudden, you are engaging with communities. You are talking. There is a give, there is a receiving, there is questioning, there is answering. There is no, I know it all, so I'm going to pump information out to you. I think we all know Rupert Murdoch has got some issues he's going to deal with in terms of telephones and mobile phones, etc. But he was quite right, that the people have taken control because of technology. It's just changed everything completely. And I always like to bring it back to our own individual self. If you look at your own life, look at your own friends around you, what social media is doing, what mobile platforms are doing, has changed the way people communicate and live. It's completely different. And it's happened like that. It doesn't take forever to get there. So we all know traditional marketing, those P's, 1P, 2P, 5Ps, whatever. But I knew it all, and I spoke to you, and I know what you wanted, and I told you where you'd be, where I could place and position, and all of those things. And then up came internet marketing, and I hope we're all moving away from that. But it's two-way communication, it's a bit of a feedback. If I could find your contact form on the internet, I can get back and tell you something. But now, all of a sudden, there's a whole revolution that's happening. Conversations are happening with consumers and customers. We've always prided ourselves, and we still do, as WesBank in terms of customer service. So where you typically didn't see us above the line before you financed your vehicle or your asset, you definitely knew about us from the moment you signed the contract, because then our customer service kicked in. And if we dropped the ball, we had a saying that we never let the sun set on a customer complaint. And we're all so proud of it. The sun never sets on a customer complaint, We deal with it and we fix it and make sure it happens. And we keep stats of it. We track it. You know, if you have a complaint about WesBank, you can get to the CEO. We put up, if you walk into our building, there's stats, complaints to the customer. All of these things we do. Diane back there is head of our public relations. You know, we respond to issues, but we're so happy about it until we realized one day that letting the sun set on your customers is old school. No one really cares about that. The issue now is, you know, we've got to turn around that complaint that comes on social media within a few minutes.